Okay guys, here's an interesting one. I'm in Melbourne, I've got the whole car packed. The kids and wife aren't in here at the moment, but we've driven over to pick up a Snowy River caravan. But I thought, interestingly, I took the exact same route that I took with my Tesla last time. So I thought I'd look at the Nissan Patrol, which is a V8 5.5 or 5.7 litre, look at the fuel efficiency and cost of driving over versus taking the Tesla. Now the Tesla from memory was like $93 in electricity and stopping every 2 hours basically. The Patrol, now we got over here easily in one tank. It was only 737 kilometers, and this car in theory with a 140 litre tank should be able to get over 1,000 kilometers. Now driving this car around the streets, I normally get about 15 litres per 100. I have had it after I've owned the car for like 2 years before that I get so used to the lead foot. I've had it sit at 24 litres per 100 around the streets. So it can be very, very thirsty. The lowest I've ever driven one, which was about 80 kilometers an hour, was 10 litres. I think just over 10 litres per 100 kilometers. So we cruised over to Melbourne, not pussyfooting at all, driving it properly, 110 proper speed, 110 on the GPS, and overtaking, you know, foot down properly. So I didn't try to make it fuel efficient. I'm just doing a real world test, and I drove the Tesla the same way. So we get over here, we've done 737 kilometers, and the center console's telling me I've got about 13 liters per 100. I'll flick it. So about 13 liters per 100 here, and obviously this number here is just high because we're static at the moment, so we're not even moving. And then in the dash here, let me skip through. Oh, that was it. So it's saying 12 litres per 100. So I just filled up and I put in, where is it? 85 litres at the cost of $144, which works out to be under 12 litres per 100 kilometres. Now, I'm not going to lie, I was expecting that the car would say 12 and the real fuel figures worked out to be like 14, especially as this car, the speedo's out by like 10 kilometers. When you're doing 110 on the speedo, you're doing 100 kilometers an hour on the GPS. Everyone knows this. The Nissan Patrol speedos are way out. You can put 35-inch tires on this car to correct it, which is a bit extreme, but you know, the speedos are out anyway. So I was expecting that these figures were going to be falsified essentially, but they're not. We actually got here with better fuel figures than the car's telling me, and this is on 91. I never fill up with 95. I never have. I've had tons of Patrols, never had an issue. And so yeah, the total cost of driving over yesterday was $144 versus in the Tesla was $93. Now the Tesla is electric. If you're at home, you can charge with the solar, but when you're driving to Melbourne, well, you're charging at the supercharger, so you're paying good money. $93, it is a good saving, except for the fact that we're in a Nissan Patrol. I mean, we're in a V8 for starters. You know, this thing would be as fast as my standard range Tesla. So we're not lacking in any speed there. We've got so much more room. I mean, just left to right, I don't know if it's even possible to show you on camera, but I'm just tiny in this seat. And then this is the size of the center console. You know, it's got a center console probably twice the width of the Tesla's center console. The ride is obviously heaps softer, heaps nicer in that regard. Everything about this is really, really beautiful, and we're in a tank. You know, we are in an absolute tank. So there you go. The Tesla, yes, is cheaper by a considerable amount, by whatever, $40, $50. But when you're moving and the entire family, if you've got the money, the Nissan Patrol is still an awesome car. Now, this being said, I was thinking on the way over here, this Patrol's really interesting. It can get me 12 litres per 100 driving on its own. And then when I attach my caravan, which is 3 ton and an absolute windsock, it only doubles. I would have just thought, for the fact that, you know, the car's, whatever, you know, 2 by 2 meters, basically, a box hitting the wind. But the caravan's like 2.5 by 2.5. I would have thought that the length, the double the weight, and the more than double the wind resistance, it would have got more than twice the fuel efficiency. But, you know, the torque that this car has, it's made for pulling, and this is where Nissan Patrols and these big V8s and these big cars are going to have it on the electric vehicles for quite some time. Let's face it. Look, I'm looking forward to owning an electric full drive, no doubt. But for the short term in front of us, say 5, maybe even 10 years, we're not going to have anything that rivals a large Toyota or a large Nissan Patrol or anything like that, because they just don't get the distances in the electricity. Now, why did I jump back into this Nissan Patrol after having a couple Teslas now? Well, that's purely for towing. We were looking at getting a caravan that could fit under 1.6 ton, which is what the Tesla's towing capacity is. But, you know, for a family of 2 children, 1 more on the way, and me and my wife, look, there are options out there, but they're small. They're small, and they're not that cost effective either. You can almost buy a full-size caravan for about the same price. And so instead we opted, you know what, let's get back in the Nissan Patrol. It only costs, I think, 10 grand more than the Tesla anyway. And so we're back in the Nissan Patrol. We're picking up another Snowy River caravan. And of course, there's going to be heaps more videos coming about caravanning and Snowy River in the future. All right, guys, see you in the next one.